Did you know that anger is secretly ruining your life? In a study conducted by Harvard Medical School, researchers found that anger can significantly increase the risk of heart disease and weaken the immune system. In this video, we will identify some common triggers of anger, the consequences of unmanaged anger, how you can express anger in a healthy way, and channelize anger in positive direction so that you can turn the disadvantages of anger into your advantage and live a peaceful and happy life. But first, let's understand what anger actually is. Anger is a natural human emotion. It's a response to perceived threats, injustice, or frustration. It's completely normal to feel angry when things don't go your way or when you're treated unfairly. But here's the catch. It's not the anger itself that's the problem. It's how we handle it. When anger spirals out of control, it can have serious consequences. It can hurt our relationships, both personal and professional. Have you ever said something in a fit of anger that you later regretted? Or perhaps you've seen someone's uncontrolled anger push others away. This is what we want to avoid. As Aristotle wisely said, anyone can become angry, that is easy. But to be angry with the right person to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose, and in the right way, that is not easy. Think about anger like a child. You don't want to let it drive the car, and you certainly don't want to stuff it in the trunk either. Anger, when not managed properly, can also hinder our personal growth, trapping us in a cycle of negative emotions and reactions. In a few moments, I am going to share the actual steps that can help you overcome anger. But first, let's understand the things that actually trigger anger. This is where a bit of self-reflection can be really helpful. Common triggers might include feeling disrespected, encountering unfair situations, or even just daily stressors like traffic jams or long queues. It's important to recognize these triggers because awareness is the first step in managing our emotions. As Robert Greene Ingersoll said, "Anger is a wind which blows out the lamp of the mind." I want you to take a moment and think about the last time you felt really angry. What triggered it? Was it a comment from a colleague, a family disagreement, or something else? Understanding your personal triggers is key to mastering your response to them, because anger is like a snowball rolling downhill, growing bigger and more uncontrollable with each turn. This cycle often starts with a trigger, followed by an emotional response, which then leads to a reaction, often one that we regret later. As Ambrose Bierce said, "Speak when you are angry, and you will make the best speech you will ever regret." And here's the tricky part. Each time we respond to anger in a negative way, it gets easier to do so the next time. Before we know it, we're stuck in this cycle, reacting in ways that hurt us and those around us. But here's the good news. This cycle can be broken, and that's exactly what we're going to learn next. We'll discover a transformative technique that's not just about managing anger, but about using it as a catalyst for positive change in our lives. So, anger isn't just about suppressing your feelings or counting to 10, although those can sometimes help. We're talking about a deeper, more sustainable change. The key is to express your anger in a healthy, constructive way. It's about communication and channeling that intense energy towards something beneficial. Instead of letting anger control you, you control it. This can be through assertive communication, physical activity, or creative pursuits. The goal is to find an outlet that works for you. For example, let's say you're angry about a social issue. Instead of stewing in that anger, you could channel it into volunteering for a cause you care about or starting a community project. This is how anger can become a force for positive change. Now, let's break this down into practical steps. Step 1. Identify your anger triggers. Keep a journal or make mental notes when you feel yourself getting angry. What's happening around you? What are the common patterns? Step 2. Once you recognize a trigger, practice pausing before reacting. This pause is crucial. It gives you a moment to choose how to respond, rather than just reacting out of habit. Step 3. Use this pause to practice deep breathing, or another quick relaxation technique. This helps to reduce the intensity of your emotions, making it easier to think clearly. Step 4. Learn to communicate your feelings assertively, not aggressively. This means expressing yourself in a way that is clear, respectful, and direct. It's about stating your needs without blaming or intimidating others. Step 5. Find a positive outlet for your anger. This could be anything from sports to art to simply talking things out with a friend or therapist. The idea is to transform your anger into something productive. Imagine if instead of shouting in a moment of anger, you channeled that energy into a passionate debate or a powerful painting or a long run. This doesn't just help you manage your anger, It helps you grow as a person. I know this might sound challenging, but remember, change doesn't happen overnight. It's about making small, consistent efforts. Every time you successfully manage your anger, you're breaking that destructive cycle and building a new, healthier pattern. As the saying goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. The same applies to managing your anger. Start today, and you'll be amazed at how much better your life can be. But the problem is still not completely solved yet. It's not just about controlling anger in the moment. True mastery comes when you understand and address the root causes of your anger. This is where self-reflection and maybe even professional help can be invaluable. Think of anger like a tree. The outbursts you see are just the branches. The real issue lies in the roots, underlying problems like past trauma, stress, or even unmet needs. By addressing these, you can reduce the intensity and frequency of your anger. Step 6 in our journey is to explore these underlying causes. This might mean reflecting on your past experiences, identifying patterns in your life, or seeking help from a therapist. It's not an easy step, but it's crucial for long-term change. Step 7 is to practice regular self-care. This is about taking care of your overall well-being, which can have a profound effect on your emotional state. Regular exercise, adequate sleep, a healthy diet, and mindfulness practices like meditation can all help in keeping your anger in check. Remember, when you're physically and mentally well, you're less likely to be triggered and more likely to handle stress effectively. So, make self-care a priority. And finally, step 8, practice patience and perseverance. Managing anger is a skill, and like any skill, it takes time to develop. There will be good days and bad days. The key is to keep moving forward, learning from each experience. But let's not forget, the journey doesn't end here. Managing anger is a continuous process, a path of personal growth that lasts a lifetime. Every day is an opportunity to practice, to learn, and to grow. Now that you have learned to manage anger, you must also learn to focus, because focus is the #1 factor that separates an average person from the top 1% performers. That's why I have made this video, which will help you master focus, so that you can get things done without distractions. So, must check it out.